Alright everybody, welcome to the Clean Cuisine. Today we are going to be making a salmon patty or a salmon cake. I've got all my ingredients laid out just for simplicity purposes. So I've done my prep already, but I'll just explain to you as we go through here. So I'm going to start with 1 can, I'm dripping it, of the wild sockeye salmon. I'm going to go ahead and leave the oil in and just pour that in my bowl all together. This is a super convenient way to eat some really great salmon. Now you do want to kind of go through it with a fork because occasionally they will leave a big bone. Most of them can be mashed up, but if you happen to go through and you feel a really big bone, go ahead and take that out. This one right now looks good. When you're mixing it, you might also find some, so I'll just take that out. But again, don't be scared if you see a few bones in here. They're usually so soft that once you mix them, you can't even taste them. So I'm going to put those aside. Okay, I also have about a quarter bunch of chopped parsley, about the equivalent of 1 small or about a half a medium onion, diced really fine. You can also pulse this in your food processor. I love to do that for quick purposes. I zested a little bit of lemon. This isn't a necessary step, or you could use a little fresh squeezed lemon, but I think it just adds a really nice flavor to the salmon cakes. I've got 2 eggs that I've beaten already, a little bit of whole grain mustard. You can also use a Dijon mustard. We are doing the Whole30, so you want to make sure everything is compliant if that's the case. And then I have, in place of breadcrumbs, I'm going to use almond meal. This is homemade almond meal because I make my own almond milk occasionally. But you can also get almond meal at the store, also known as almond flour. So we're going to use that in place of our breadcrumbs today. And then of course some salt and pepper for seasoning. So I'm just going to go ahead and add all this in with our salmon, and then we're going to give it a good mix. With the breadcrumb and the eggs, I'm going to add a little bit at a time because I don't want it to become too watery that we can't form the actual patties. I'm going to use about a teaspoon of the Dijon. I'm going to do about a half a teaspoon to start of salt. About the same of pepper, maybe a little less. That doesn't come out quite as fast. I'm just going to start with, geez, I'm making a mess, about a half cup of almond meal and about half of my egg mixture, so about 1 egg, just to see kind of how those are going to come together. I'm just mixing with my fork right now. Okay, so I have mixed it and incorporated the egg and the breadcrumbs, which in this case we used almond meal, into our salmon. You can see what it looks like. And I'm going to go ahead and form patties. All I did was wipe down my chopping board, my cutting board, and lined it with some wax paper so I can go ahead and just put my patties on here. So I'm just going to go ahead and start by grabbing a handful, and you'll know that it's ready when you can go ahead and form a patty like that with your mixture. If it's falling apart, you might need to add more breadcrumbs or more eggs, depending. I'm just going to go ahead and put it on my sheet. Try and make them as consistent as possible. That way they'll cook evenly. Another thing, if you're not a salmon lover, I know some people just don't prefer the taste of salmon, but they do like tuna, just sub out the salmon for tuna. You'll obviously need to use a couple more cans because tuna comes in smaller cans, but this would be great as a tuna cake. And you might want to replace the parsley with some chives. Chives gives this dish a really nice flavor too. So there's options there. So I'm just going to go ahead and finish making these patties, and then I'm just going to dust it with a little bit more almond meal and then get some butter going in our pan before we go to pan fry them. Okay, so my pan is on a medium heat. Let's turn this pan off. Medium to medium high. I went ahead and added a nice dollop of clarified butter in there already. You can see it's smoking. So we want to get these salmon patties on there. Woo! Mine just broke apart. I'm going to carefully place them in your pan. And we'll go about 2 to 3 minutes on each side. So I'm just going to let those hang out for a few minutes and we'll come back and check them. Okay, it's been about 2.5 minutes, so I'm going to carefully flip these. Turn that fan off again. Now, I'm not going to lie, guys, they do fall apart kind of easy, so you want to be as careful as possible, but that's got a nice color. A way that you can actually keep that from happening is before, see, I went right from molding them to putting them on the pan, but if you throw them in the refrigerator for about 15 to 20 minutes, that'll help to harden them up and they won't fall apart as easily. I lost the battle on that one. But you can see it's got that nice crispness on the outside, so we're going to give it another 2 minutes. And that's that. They're done. Thanks for stopping in, guys, again to the Clean Cuisine. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up if you liked, and subscribe for more easy, healthy meals.